Hello everyone, in this lesson we will look up at the psychological characteristics of the crew group. Crew members are a special group who have been working on ships for a long time, and their unique work and living environment shapes the psychological characteristics of the crew group. The learning objectives of this class are to master the impact of the environment on the psychological well-being of crew members, understand absolute authority and obedience, consciousness, master the role of informal groups among crew members, master the test points about crew group psychology in the exam. This lesson is mainly divided into 5 parts. First, the impact of the environment on the psychological well-being of crew members. 2. Absolute authority and obedience consciousness. 3. The role of informal groups. 4. Negative psychological qualities. 5. Test. Part 1. Environment impact on crew psychology. During the days when ships sail far into the ocean, ranging from a few days to several months, the crew faces an endless sea every day, moving in a very limited space and repeatedly facing several identical phases, more to the limitations of communication methods and the high cost of communication. The information obtained by the crew is very limited and even feels very isolated. With long-term offshore work, people's psychology will undergo a series of changes, with emotions becoming irritable, unstable, and easily agitated. The particularity of the working environment on board is multifaceted. Firstly, the constant noise day and night prevents the crew from getting sufficient sleep. Secondly, ship vibrations and shaking will cause varying degrees of dizziness and fatigue among crew members. For individuals who are sensitive to seasickness, symptoms such as dizziness, nausea, and vomiting may occur, leading to unstable attention, reduced coordination of movements, and decreased accuracy. Thirdly, the weather at sea is unpredictable, and crew members must deal with various rapidly changing situations in a short period of time, often in a state of psychological tension. Part 2. Absolute authority and obedience consciousness. In the crew of a ship, responsibilities and powers are very clear. The captain is the absolute leader on board, and each crew member has a clear division of labor. Usually, orders issued by the captain or department head within their respective responsibilities cannot be negotiated with subordinates and can only be executed, otherwise the consequences may be unimaginable. Subordinates must establish a sense of obedience, and even if they have different opinions on orders issued by superiors, they must first execute them and then exchange opinions with leaders afterwards to ensure the coordination and consistency of ship work. The negative effects of absolute authority and a strong sense of hierarchy are that it can easily lead to distrust from superiors towards subordinates and a confrontational mentality from subordinates towards superiors. The abnormal development of this superior-subordinate relationship can hinder the establishment of good interpersonal communication among crew members and also result in a lack of friendship, understanding, and care among crew members. Therefore, relying solely on absolute authority cannot achieve comprehensive and coordinated cooperation among subordinate staff, thereby greatly reducing the efficiency of ship operations. Part 3. The role of informal groups. The groups on board, like other social groups, have both formal organizational groups and informal groups. The existence and the intervention of informal groups directly meets some of the needs of crew members. This not only compensates or replaces other needs that cannot be met on board, but also serves as a reasonable psychological adjustment. Informal group is an important aspect that cannot be ignored in the interpersonal relationship of crew members, and plays an important positive and negative role in the safe operation, production, and transportation of ships. On the one hand, on the whole, under the correct guidance, the informal group is conducive to the crew to compensate the negative impact of the particularity of sea life through the communication and activities of the group, and is conducive to the safe and efficient completion of production tasks by ships. On the other hand, informal groups can easily form small groups with negative effects under the guidance of incorrect thinking, and members gather only for entertainment or spare time, even gangster, which seriously affect the safe operation of ships and the completion of transportation and production tasks. Part 4. Negative psychological quality. The main manifestations of poor psychological quality are being firm of purpose, weak self-adaptation and regulation ability, often occupied by fear psychology, poor self-control, 2. Pessimistic mentality, or the coexistence of arrogance, complacency, and complacency, strong vanity and the love for face, having only a superficial understanding of knowledge and lacking proficiency in skills, but not being humble enough to learn from others, often leads to accidents in a confused state. The mentality of luck. This mentality often leads to illegal operations. Part 5. Question card guide. Let's do a few questions. Let's take a look at how to solve the questions. That's all for this lesson. Thank you.